Chapter 9, Ill-Advised Relationship, based on the Samson's story of immoral relationship. Samson was the strongest man, but he had a serious weakness. He met a Philistine woman against his father's will. "I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnah, now get her for my wife." His father and mother replied, "Isn't there an acceptable woman among your relatives or among all our people?" It's written, Book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 2-3. Samson was a Nazarite who was endowed with a strong power from God, but it seemed he couldn't control his lust. Finally, he was destined to have the miserable last days. If a divorced is willing to date and remarry right after divorce, it is like a garden tiger moth flying into fire in summer night. However, many of single parents go out to find their new partner as if dating would be the answer of their loneliness. However, they need to wait for the recovery from marriage brokenness for at least 2 to 3 years. Statistics tells us that only 15% of remarriage is successful. Even though the divorced feel lonely, don't try to find a new partner. Instead, anticipate the guidance of God with putting your heart in Him. He will lead and find the perfect better half for the one who was wailing alone after spouse left. Trust and expect God, who wants us to be happy and contented life as a man and woman. Somebody might think living together without marriage license would be ideal, since the success rate of remarriage is very low. But it is definite adultery, which God hates. Pure and holy life is critically important. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body. When the sexual relationship out of a marriage ends broken, it brings emotional emptiness and feeling of self-torment. Next, someone who has growing children should be more cautious in considering remarriage. Never forget testing whether the new partner would be good to already heartbroken sons or daughters. Actually, I guess it's better for them to wait until kids graduate high school and go to college. In this chapter, let's view what types of divorce are allowed in the Bible. Only 2 kinds of divorce. First is by immoral case. Second one by religious conflict. Recently, people add 1 type of divorce, which is physical abuse. Even though those cases might be permissible, Christian spouses are expected to embrace their husband or wives with mercy and forgiveness. Lastly, I will share the Bible verse from Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. May God bless richly.
The first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird.